Welcome to another Shift Change Videocast, episode 6. Tom, do you have a name for episode 6?
Yaroslav Spacek, or Mark Sanchez next season.
Mark Sanchez next season. You stole the one that I was going to go with. Is there another? Who's
sorry.
another? Colton Schmidt. Rex Ryan's tattoo?
Is that he wears 6?
Colton Schmidt wears number 6.
That Colton Schmidt
I'm
sorry, Colton Schmidt.
Tom, you should have noticed when they were punting all the time last year. Remember all the punting?
Yeah, I run the radio broadcast, and we have a not even 19-inch TV. I don't see the numbers. So
you don't see the numbers.
Yeah,
but they punted a lot.
They did punt a lot.
They really love punting. I mean,
it's my fault.
Nobody made this joke. They should have made this joke when Rex Ryan got the tattoo changed on his arm. If you didn't hear, he got his tattoo. He had this tattoo of his wife with no pants, with a Mark Sanchez jersey, and he got it changed to Bills colors, which makes it a Colton Schmidt jersey on his wife with no pants.
Which is impressive, because it would be easier to turn blue to green, I think, than it would be green to blue.
Because you had yellow.
Yeah, that's how colors work.
Color wheel. Learned that in elementary school.
Yeah.
Who knew
all you kids out there watching this.
Who knew how relevant that would be?
Yeah, super helpful.
So there was no Doug Marrone jokes made about that. Like, hey, if anybody was going to have a punter's jersey on their arm, it would be Doug Marrone. You're welcome.
Good joke.
You can make that for your friends.
They'll be impressed, and they'll shun you for life.
As they should. Real quick, I know you got nerdy stuff.
I have so much.
We had a discussion the other day about sports tattoos. If you were going to tattoo someone from sports, because now Rex Ryan has the punter of the Bills jersey on his naked wife.
Right.
So if you were going to tattoo something sports related on your body, let's just say you had to do arm. You don't have to do like lower back or anything weird. Although, okay, so just on your arm,
just somewhere, you know.
What would you do?
Oh, this one's easy. You know how the script that they use for Bills in the end zone, right? Those big block letters. I would get that in blue down the left arm, and it would just say Roby. 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 I think that's the perfect tattoo.
Referring to Nickel Roby.
Yes.
If you didn't know, but you should because he's a legend.
Yes, Mike Robitaille is fine, but it's just, he's not my favorite athlete of all time like other Robies out there.
I would also have my favorite of all time, not being sarcastic, Yadier Molina, the catcher of the St. Louis Cardinals. I love him.
Who is that?
He's this catcher of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh!
I think I just said that.
Great. Yeah.
Because I think he's the best catcher in the league. He's been my favorite player for a long time.
You know what? I think so, too. I think you're right.
What do you got for nerd stuff?
Okay.
Think about the tattoos that you would have for cartoons and
Spider-Man has like
people.
3 different symbols, so it would be pretty easy to get tatted up in Spider-Man, or just do an awesome, intricate, like, web design with the red, like, basically tattoo your arms into Spider-Man sleeve costume sleeves. That'd be sweet.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
What do you got?
This week, the good folks at DC Comics decided, you know what? Superman is just, he's a little bit underpowered for our tastes. He's not quite strong enough, doesn't quite have enough to fight his enemies with, so let's give him a new superpower.
Now hold on. Let's recap what his superpowers are. He can fly, shoot lasers out of his head.
Heat vision, which, to a certain extent is a laser.
It's a heat laser. Super hearing.
Yep.
He can hear, like, people yelling for him from around the world.
This is true. Super strength.
Super strength.
Invulnerability.
Right. Bullets cannot hurt him in any way.
They just deflect off. Did we say super speed?
Yeah.
We did say super speed.
I don't think there are any more superpowers available.
Yeah.
I think that's all.
Well, there's freezy breath.
Oh, he can freezy breath.
And he has a bunch of, like, BS powers that IGN collected in a great article I tweeted out yesterday of just, like, 15 stupid powers that Superman has had in the past, like super ventriloquism and super weaving. Those aren't jokes. Those are things that happened in comic books.
Super weaving seems like super anything.
Yeah.
Like, super draw a picture of yourself.
He also had super telepathy for a while, which then translated into super caller ID when someone was calling him before caller ID was invented.
Come on.
He would know based on super telepathy who was calling when the phone was ringing.
Okay.
Because they just made everything up. They're just like, he's Superman, he can do whatever, which is why he sucks. And now they decided, hey, let's put one more arrow in that quiver. They invented a thing called the Super Flare, which basically he has, like, all of his Superman powers are from Earth's yellow sun, right? And apparently that stores up all this energy, and apparently if he's outmatched somehow, impossibly, he can just, like, go boom! And just, like, set off all this solar energy and blast people away.
Is that a little bit like a Mortal Kombat thing? There was the Mortal Kombat thing that would put its hands together, go like that.
Well, I mean, that's Street Fighter. That's a fireball.
Oh, Street Fighter.
That's a Hadouken.
Whatever.
Whatever?
Yeah, whatever.
Not whatever. This is Mortal Kombat, it's Sub-Zero freezing people, or it's Scorpion doing the spear, get over here. Fireball, Hadouken, Street Fighter. But it's not like that. It comes out like of his whole body, just like this giant explosion from around him. Did you ever play the old X-Men arcade game?
No.
Well, I know some of you have. So when you did Colossus's special power, he would just go, "Rah!" And then this big flash would emanate from him and damage all the enemies around him. And that's what Superman can do now. Just like, just in case I couldn't speed up and punch something to death, or laser it with my eyes, or freeze it with my breath, now I can just blow it up.
You know what's amazing? Dude still can't figure out kryptonite.
No.
They give him all these powers.
Super kryptonite resistance.
You know who's
soon.
calling you. You can blow up your body into a ball of fire, and then fly around at its super speed and laser it with your eyeballs, but you can't figure out how to get rid of green rocks.
So
super intelligence not included.
I mean, I think the most fun thing to do with Superman would be to scale him back and make him, you know, an interesting person.
Yes.
And not an invincible godlike creature. But no, that's what they're doing. And all of this is in stark contrast with, they just released the Netflix trailer for the new Netflix series about Daredevil, who's just, you know, he's a lawyer, and he, well, when he's a kid, he gets hit by some radioactive goo and he loses his sight, but he has enhanced other senses. That's his other power. It effectively creates some kind of radar, but he's not strong, he's just a guy. And this series looks freaking cool.
It's Batman-y in a way.
It's Batman without all the money and genius detective skills. He gets the crap beaten out of him a lot, but makes it much more of an underdog story, which I think is more interesting.
Almost like Nickel Roby is an
Yes,
underdog.
Exactly. You can see a theme here.
I got some good idea, bad idea for you.
Okay, let's hit it.
If any of you have listened to the audio version of the Videocast, which is the podcast and whatever, we would do good idea, bad idea. It will become a staple. Don't you worry. I will give you, Tom Sitch, 5 available quarterbacks. By available, I mean for trade or for
trades.
free agency.
I like trades.
And you tell me good idea or bad idea on these quarterbacks. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All of these, I think, are plausible. So I've got 5 for you.
Okay.
And this is to go along with an article at WGR550.com.
Oh, plug. We got a plug. Go read it.
You're already at the website.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
click over there after you're done watching this, you fool. All right.
That's rude.
It's up.
Okay.
Here's your 5 quarterbacks.
Let's do this real quick.
1, Joe Pascal, you mentioned yesterday. Jake Locker, good idea or bad idea?
Bad idea, he's made of glass.
Mark Sanchez, good idea or bad idea? You do not have to tattoo him on yourself.
But you can, so that's an upside in my opinion. Good idea.
Nick Foles, former Eagles quarterback, good idea, bad idea?
Well, that's a trade, and I'd rather have Mark Sanchez for just money than Nick Foles for trades.
I'm guessing you don't have to trade that much. Just hashtag
You might,
say it.
though, because if Sanchez hits the market, Foles and Barkley are the only QBs Philadelphia has. They're going to want to hang on to someone.
There's only a few teams who would trade for Mark Sanchez, so I don't think the price is going to be very high. It's not...
You mean sign Mark Sanchez?
Oh, yeah, sign Mark Sanchez. No, I meant trade for Nick Foles.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about Nick Foles.
You're talking about Nick Foles.
You're Nick Foles.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, the only other one is Matt Moore. That's where we've gotten to, by the way.
Yeah.
A quarterback who hasn't started a game since 2011 or 12, Matt Moore.
I say bad idea.
Matt Moore is a pretty bad idea. I decided to throw one in there that was obvious. Let's talk about these real quick. Jake Locker. He is indeed made of glass. Did show some upside, but also had a lot of really bad games. I will agree with you, bad idea.
Okay.
Mike Glennon, good idea, I think.
You didn't give me Mike Lennon.
I forgot to give you Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay, good idea. He was influenced.
For if you trade a little bit for him.
That's another trade.
Yeah.
You threw me off with the Sanchez-Foles thing.
I know.
I blame you entirely.
Nah.
I like Mike Glennon as an idea, but it's kind of like getting another E.J. Manuel. Mark Sanchez is probably the best idea, even though we all hate it. And Nick Foles has good stats, but there's got to be a reason for that. But, I mean, is Chip Kelly everything for him? I mean, just the system, because Mark Sanchez also did pretty well.
Well, Mark Sanchez, in terms of QBR and rating, had his best, I guess half a year under Chip Kelly. So
nerd.
The guy's just. I mean, I did this for my work
sick of your
yesterday.
stats.
I know. I'm sorry.
So who do you think they're going to get?
Sanchez.
You think it's Sanchez?
I think it's Sanchez.
Sanchez doesn't make you a little nervous with just the fact that he's not great?
It's not going to be a whopping commitment, and you got to do something. You can't just say EJ and no one else this season. Like, I know we need to see what he does under a different coach. I still think he kind of sucks. But you need another veteran quarterback. I think it should be Sanchez, and, if it doesn't work out, then you're probably in a good spot to draft one next year.
I think I would be okay with most of those options except for Matt Moore, which I just put there for no reason.
He's done. And so are we. Ha ha!